So first and foremost, as always, I always like to kick these webinars off with a quick little introduction. My name is Sean Kozak, one of the co-founders here at ARC AI and acting CEO for the NeuroStreet ecosystem. I've got my team in here, Ashley, Jeff, Jim. They're going to be working on the sidelines here, helping answer some of your questions, helping with some links, all the fun stuff in between. I normally don't like to read the chat box while I'm presenting, just due to the fact that I got a lot to talk about and I want to make sure that I can stay on topic. I'm not ignoring you. If you do write something in the chat box, I will be getting to all of the questions at the end of the presentation. So just sit tight. I promise you, we'll get to it. Also, we are recording the event. So if you have to leave or if you would like to watch the replay, we encourage that. I think, most times people are going to watch these several times to learn and absorb the details that we go over. And as always, ARC has got a very active and aggressive launch pad with regards to software and systems and algos and everything in between. So today is actually a special presentation for me. I do a lot of webinars. How many of you guys have been in one of my webinars over the past years? Probably a lot, yeah. I mean, I've been doing webinars since 2015. I think we're doing about 150 events a year. It's pretty crazy, but we're excited about it. We love it. We love it. We love helping traders. We love, adding value and impacting lives in this community. Some events are better than others, right? Some of them, just at the end of the day, because we do so many events and we talk about so many systems and we talk about strategies and software, sometimes we can catch a mulligan. How many of you guys know what a mulligan is? Yeah. You guys know what it's like to, once you get once in a while, you'll just take it, right? You get, it's a golf term, right? Well, in other words, you take the gift when the gift hand keeps giving, right? And once in a while, we stumble upon something that just blows us away. And I think sometimes there's a little bit of serendipity in that. Sometimes the universe works in our favor. That's what today's event is going to be about. Whether you're religious, spiritual, or somewhere in between, either way, I assure you what we're going to be talking about today is unique in that out of all of the algos that we've produced in the past 2 years, I would arguably think that this has been the profitable system we've built. And it's a pretty bold statement. We've built some pretty amazing software strategies. We built great algos. I think because it's just super simple, it just really works. And I'm just going to just leave it at that. We're going to get into the details of the presentation, but I wanted to lead with this because if you're anything like me, you're in this business to make money, right? Give me a yes if that's why you got into trading. You want to make money and you want to make as much of it as possible, right? And sometimes different strategies produce different results. The market's a dynamic, fickle beast. And how many of you guys have heard of pin bars before? I'm sure you've heard of it. It's one of the most famous trading patterns in the business. And, we've been putting out a lot of strategies with price action chart patterns and such. And, our team got together and we said, why don't we automate pin bars? And said, it's so simple. I said, yeah, but maybe that's the point. And we did. And lo and behold, we came out of the trenches with something that is, it just blew me away. I was just so blown away by it. Like the results on crude oil, the results on the S&P, the results on all of the markets. I mean, we've got 4 different markets, 4 different templates with different timeframes and different bar types we're going to share with you today. And for those of you that are day traders, you're going to love this. So that's kind of like the intro, a little bit of a preamble. I do need to cover a quick disclaimer. As always, I can't guarantee anything. If I could, I would try, but I can't. It's against the law for me to do so, and I'm not Aladdin with Genie, right? I can only tell you what we know and give you the information and the education, and please place trades at your own cognizance. Give me a Y in the chat box that you accept the risk disclaimer so we can move on like professionals, right? I can't guarantee future or past performance, and it's not indicative of all that stuff in between. Yeah. Right. So we haven't done any algos launching range bars. Oh God, since the HFT algo release. For those of you that have been with us for some time, I'm sure you've seen that software on our roster. We've been able to put together some templates for both reversals and for trends with really large sample sizes, which to me is what really caught my attention early on, is that we were able to pull out large sample sizes on markets that very rarely prove profitable. And we were able to fine tune expectancy across different markets and different bar types using the same system. And that's when we knew we had something that was unifiably strong, because a lot of times you'll have certain markets will perform better than others. Sometimes you'll have different conditions will perform better than others, right? Trending markets sometimes produce really great trades, and then reversals, they slap you silly, right? And then vice versa. Sometimes you got a reversal system. We've been able to extract both with this, and this is why I'm excited, because you can actually turn both of these on and you can trade reversals and trends with this system. And we're going to show you both. We've actually pre-built both of those templates, and we're going to go into that. And we're going to get into that. No, it's a different graph, John. I'll show you the graphs because I just pulled these from today's pictures, so I'll show you that. Yeah, but let me get into that. Okay. So a couple of you guys have come to us and you guys have mentioned, I'm not where I need to be. Right? How many of you guys are still on that proverbial struggle right now? Right? Can you guys tell me that? Like, where are you guys at right now? Like, I know that a lot of you guys have the ups and downs. How many of you guys are still in the downs right now? Okay. Okay. Up and down all around. Okay. Could be doing a lot better, Rick says. Yeah. So what is more important to you? I think that's a better question. I want to ask, like, you tell me, what is more important to you? Is having a fancy, shiny object, or just having something super simple that hits and is easy to understand and can be easily traded? What do you think would be more important to you? Simple and easy, Josello says. Simple and easy. Lower drawdowns, keep it simple. Okay. So I'm going to talk about why automation can be difficult versus why it can be simple. There's a lot of problems with manual trading that plague a lot of human beings. And we talk about this on a regular basis, and we always talk about this, is that retail traders get in the way, and not on purpose. And it's not because they woke up one day and they said, well, I want to sabotage my own trading. It's just we're human beings. And that comes with emotions, mindset, cognitive abilities, intellect, understanding, experience. There's a lot of factors that go into discretionary trading. Okay. Revenge trading, LB says, right? And most of the time, what we've seen on the system development side is that there's just no data. Like, retail traders don't have any data to show that they're actually consistent, because they don't have a long enough track record of historical trades to even validate what they're doing. And this is where automation comes in, because automation is not designed to be the holy grail, but it's designed to do a lot of things that are not possible as a manual trader. And we can get into the minutia of the increased speed and the accuracy of the systems and all that stuff. But I think the most important thing that we are going to relate with, and I always like to talk about this, is the data. Data fuels everything in the algorithmic space. And it's one of the reasons why traders, you've probably heard, well, you need a trading plan and you need to log your trades and you need to study your trades. Yeah, but studying your trades as a manual trader takes time. Okay. Studying the trades as an automated trader is way less time because we can speed up the process of the expectancy, if you will. We can speed up the process of evidence. We can speed up the process of being able to understand, hey, do I want to trade this or not? You might be a manual trader and you would say, hey, I'm going to trade this strategy. And you get up one morning and you trade it and you have a good day. And then the next day you get up and you have a losing day. And then 5 days through the week, Monday to Friday, and you're still like, well, I'm not sure if this is doing anything. Maybe I'll do it for another week. And then maybe you have a winning week and you're like, okay, this is it. And then I have a losing week and you're like, okay, well, now I'm at 4 weeks in and I'm really not sure I want to trade this. What did you lose most here? Maybe money. Maybe you're in a sim account. Maybe you're not really trading in real capital yet, or you're not trading for a prop firm. But what was the most valuable asset we lost here? Time. Kenneth says, my hair. Yeah. Time. Because it took you 4 weeks to determine if your manual strategy could have been something you wanted to trade, competence, etc. Where in literally half an hour, we can take something and we can get the same data points as we could have over an entire month. And this is the difference between automation. This is the reason why a lot of big banks and institutions, they have quant teams. It's no stranger. This is how they do it. Now, they don't go and just start trading things. They use the data to make better decisions. We're going to do that today. We're going to use data to make better decisions. Everybody agree with me that that kind of makes sense? I just want to make sure that I'm not just speaking out of turn. Is everybody on the same frequency as me? Everybody kind of resonates with why I'm saying this? Because some of you may not have emotional problems, but you're really terrible to execute trades. Well, then accuracy of signals is going to be a good part of that, right? But some of you maybe are not mechanical, or everybody has different skeletons, right? But one thing that holds us all consistent across all of us is the need to have access to the historical and the performance data. Okay. Now, I'm going to leave this till tomorrow. This is one of the things that we do whenever we sell strategies. ARC has rebuilt the core engine for all of our systems. And we don't just sell you a black box. We have an actual process for building and testing systems. And one of the things that you can take advantage of when using all of our algorithms and our automated strategies is the ability to leverage all of the testing frameworks that get built into the software. Why is this important? Because this is how we ascertain the expectancy of great strategies, right? Like, yes, you could have a signal and maybe it hits, but like, how did the money management work? Was there filters used? Did you use a trend filter, a momentum filter? Were we blocking news? Were we going into lunchtime? Like all these different things that we talk about. And these are all part of what we've built inside of the frameworks for the ARC algos. Okay. And so we're going to spend a lot more time on this tomorrow in the AMA for those of you that are using the systems, because we're going to teach you how to set things up and teach you what the templates are. We'll go into that in the demo here today. So let's talk a little bit about pin bars. I'm going to use range charts here for example. Well, let's just quickly talk about the system in itself, and then I'm gonna grab a drawing tool here and we're going to draw some things. 100% fully automated. So if you came here for an automated system, this is definitely going to be for you. This is something that you can trade on any time frame. I would challenge anyone in here to take a look at bigger time frames. Jeff, me and Jim and Jeff met on several occasions to talk about multi-time frames with this system. And outside of the prop trading world, there is very, very strong merit inside of these signals on every single time frame that we look at. So outside of the little realm that we live in the day trading space, I strongly encourage that you spend time looking at it for swing trading as well as investing, because I think that once you understand the nature of this system, you will understand why it has very simple yet effective merit. This is a hybrid strategy, which means it is meant specifically for both reversals and trend trades. It is designed that way. It is built for both. And you will be able to see why it's simple when we get into this. But let's get into this first on pin bars. I'm going to draw a bullish pin bar. And then I'm going to draw a bearish pin bar. Okay. This is the open, and this is the close of the candle. It's a bullish pin bar. Now, what happened during the life of this candle? Can anyone tell us what this story is telling me? What is it? What happened during this candle? Greg says it looks like a hammer. Selling. Buyers won. Shai said it. Buyers won. Think of what had to happen here in order for this candle pattern to make sense. The candle opened here. It traded all the way down. Buyers came in, traded all the way back up to close at the highs of that range. That's pretty freaking bullish in and of itself. If you think of the relationship between what it means, not a difficult concept, but it's very bullish. Same thing with the bears, the open, the close. Price opened, traded all the way up. Sellers stopped, traded it all the way back down to close here. That's pretty freaking bearish, right? That's pretty self-explanatory, right? Another way of looking at this is that if you look at this as a pin bar like this, just pretend that this is all green. That the wick isn't there, because buyers had to come all the way back up to do it. Same thing with the downside. If you have a negative pin bar like this, just pretend that this entire candle is red, because that's exactly what that means. Now you put that into the context, right? You put that into the context of where these are. These can be extremely powerful reversals, and yet they can be extremely powerful trend trades because of what they're doing. Now, we're not going to get into trend yet. Take a look. Candle body is not important. Look, this candle had a pin bar here. Still closed a little bit red, but it's very, very bullish. Look at this candle right here. See, even this one here, even though it closed a little bit higher than it opened, look at where the body is, way down here, way down. And one of the things that we found with the strategy testing is the use of trailing stops on bars with range candles worked exceptionally, exceptionally well, especially on crude oil, on gold, just really, really good. Now, whenever this happens, it's a bar close pattern. So as soon as this candle completes, it's going to enter on the open of the next bar. Okay. So it's going to enter and it's going to take the trade. Same thing here. As soon as this candle closes, it's going to enter on the open of the next candle. Does everybody understand that? I mean, it is super simple. Like, it is super, super simple. It does not need to be complex for anyone to understand this, right? Give me a yes if that makes sense. There is an intra-bar entry and there is a bar close entry. Bar close entries are going to basically wait for the candle to close. Okay. Intra-bar entries are going to wait for the price to break the low or the high of the candle pattern. For the most part, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but all the settings are on bar close.
On the templates?
Yeah, on the templates.
The NASDAQ template is an intrabar.
The NASDAQ is an intrabar? Okay, so
Yep.
we have 3 of the templates on a bar close system, and then the NASDAQ is on an entry. Okay. So it really depends on a preference. It depends on the strategy and you're testing it. But like I said, everything is fed by data. Okay. Now we have the ability, okay, to base the stop losses off of percentage of the signal's range So if you have the certain candle as a certain size range, right? We're going to take the size of that candle and we're going to take a percentage of that candle's range and poke it behind a stop loss. You can use a tick-based stop, which means, maybe you want to do 5 ticks below the low of the signal, right? And the reason this is that, you can choose a buffer, right? So that way you don't have to always have it right at the low. You can have a -5 buffer or a +5 buffer. It really just depends on your need for room on that. But like I said, one of the things you'll like about algo trading, for those of you that are new in here, is that you don't need to come up with the secret sauce. The data will tell you that. You can optimize the stop losses and you can optimize the targets for this. You don't need to figure it out on your own. Okay. Plus, we've already pre-configured the templates for these. Now, here's a great example of scalping the pin bars in the direction of trends. You're going to get a lot of these signals and they are going to give you movement. What's nice about these signals, and I'm going to bring this little drawing image back up. Let's say I have a candle that goes like this, right? It looks like this. If we know that the relationship for this is extremely bullish, what do you think the likelihood of us moving this direction on the next bar is versus just some random candle? It's probably going to be a lot higher than if we just had a candle that was sitting like this, or a candle that was sitting like this, because we don't really know what it's telling us, right? This is different. And so whenever we get a pin bar, I want you to start thinking that there is a high probability chance that we are going to move a certain distance from that hammer's position. Okay. And so when you see this type of an example, look at the short scalps here, like just next bar targets, next bar targets, next bar targets, like literally on the next candle's target. We're not trying to capture the whole leg here. This is perfect for scalpers, perfect for day traders that are trying to not be in the market for long periods of time. This is perfect for people that have a hard time staying in trades, or that are just trying to capture little bites out of the market without trying to pick the entire day, right? These are things that a lot of traders struggle with, right? This is a system that will be able to allow you to do that. Now, I'm just going to get right into this for a second, and that I'm going to show you 4 different markets. We're going to look at gold. Grab a cursor here. Let's look at gold. We're going to look at crude oil. Gold is on, we're going to look at gold on a 20 tick range bar. We're going to look at gold, oil on a 16 tick range bar. We're going to look at the NASDAQ on a 16 volume chart. And we're going to look at the S&P on an 8,000 volume chart. Okay. What blew us away was the size of the sample sizes. Like even on the crude back test, like we were able to go back, I think, like 3 months with a ton of trades, for an algo. That's exceptionally well for intraday trading. And we're going to get into the details, but we haven't seen profit factors like this across multiple markets in any of the systems we've ever built, which is, if you ask me, if you came to buy a software system from anyone, what do you think is the most important part? Is it a profitable system, right? Well, out of all of the last 20 systems we've built, once in a while we'll get systems that'll produce like really, really high profit factors, but very rarely will you get it producing the same profit factors, if not greater, across multiple markets on multiple different time frames. And this is where we knew that there was a huge confluence between the expectancy of what we're showing you here. So these are very recent. Like this is literally up to yesterday. We tested this up to yesterday here. This was the NASDAQ one. We're gonna get into that in a second. Let's get into that. Let me just do that. Bear with me here. So let's just take a look at this template for a second. Then we're going to get into the PowerPoint. We'll come back to this demo for a second. This is the NASDAQ template. How many of you guys trade the NASDAQ? This all went all the way to yesterday. Give me a yes if you trade the NASDAQ. Yeah. Okay. So over the last month, this has taken 100 trades. Okay. With a 1-to-1 R multiple, 73% profit ability. That's amazing. With a 1-to-1 R multiple, you only need 50% to break even. That's 23% above expectancy with a 1-to-1 R multiple. 2.7 profit factor over 100 trades. It's the last month, Rick. June 3rd, all the way to July 8th to yesterday. Now, the drawdown is extremely low for the profit that came out of this. And what's really, really more important here is the amount of trades you're getting. You're getting a good 4 to 5 trades a day on this template, right? And ultimately, you have a very high expectancy on a 1-to-1 R multiple. If I go in here and I take a look at this, this is the result that we had here. Let's go here to, this is the days. Like, this is literally the statistics of this. It's insane. Like, it's insane. Yeah, and that's what we said, Terrence. I said it almost looks too good to be true, and I'll second that. And we built it, and that's why I said once in a while you get favored by the gods, whatever you want to believe. We were able to extract this across multiple markets on different time frames. We're going to talk about that in a second, but let's go into the chart. Okay, let's go into this, and let's just take a look at yesterday. So right here, you can see it sticks out like a sore thumb. Right here, really clean pin bar, came in, really quick target, boom, 1-to-1 push. Right here, really quick pin bar, came in, quick push. Like literally on the next bar, you're hitting your targets. And, there was, a couple trades the day before. Let's go into it. Let's take a look here. You can see here, pin bar here, got a stop out, long, 3 back-to-back wins here. Right here was another stop out, 3 wins, 2 losses. Day before that. Here, win, win, win. And we're only trading small windows. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff, this is just the morning. But I'll have to check. Yeah, 10 a.m. to 12. Might be on a different time zone, though. Long story short, one of the best templates we've ever seen on the NASDAQ in the last month for 100 trades with a 73% hit rate on a 1-to-1 R multiple. Okay. Let's go in and take a look at the money management side of this for a second. So a lot of traders will take a strategy and they'll apply money management to improve the expectancy. I am yet to be able to see what we'll be able to do for the actual money management impact on this. We have not optimized or tested for money management in these systems, and they are still blowing us out of the water with what we expected for performance. So for me, if you were to even implement any of the things that we teach with regards to money management on this, I think that the sky's the limits. I'd be very, very impressed to see what would come out of this. And maybe, Jeff, we can talk with our ambassador guys to see if we can put together some money management on it. I don't know. All I know is that if you are interested in money management and you want to basically implement stopping your trades or fixed money management with regards to dollar cost risk, the goal here is that because the different sizes of the candles are like this, sometimes you might have a candle that's big like this, and sometimes you might have a candle that's small like this. Both of these need to be position sized automatically, and this is where we come in with the dollar risk, is that we can ultimately set the dollar risk per trade, and that way you don't have to worry about changing your money management on the fly. It'll automatically do this for you as long as you set the dollar risk per trade. Does that make sense? Give me a yes that you understand that. I mean, I know it might be new for some people, but you can automatically set your risk. It automatically changes your position sizing, etc. Now, Jim took the liberty of filming a demo video here for us. I'm going to share the audio so you guys can, take a look at this. And we're running it on crude oil and gold. And I'm going to play this for you guys.
Hey traders, Jim Simmons here with.
Can you guys hear that okay? Make sure you guys can hear that. Yes? Okay.
Neural Street Trading Academy and ARC AI, here to show you the new pin bar algo. If you trade price action or you've studied it in any way, shape, or capacity, I am positive that you are familiar with the pin bar and the concept. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the algo do its thing, trade, and then we're going to come back and review the trades and go over exactly how this works. So
Can you hear me okay? Just so you know, I stopped the video for a second to explain that we ultimately chose just some examples to be able to film the algo executing the trades, trailing the stops, et cetera, et cetera. We'll go into the actual templates for these markets here in just a second.
let's dive in and see what this thing can do.
So you'll see here, there's the reversal. It's got a target. It's trailing the stop. You'll see it's trailing the stop. We can do this well with range candles because range candles, we call this the squeeze method. A lot of times the market will keep trending and you can just keep squeezing the range. Here's another example on gold. Okay. Gold just ripped on that trade. So we will automatically trail the stop in a trending environment. One of the templates, I believe, has that already pre-configured. So there's another short. So there's a long. You're going to just see that it's just going to take the patterns whenever it happens based off the way that we've set this up. And how many of you guys trade gold or oil? You guys do, David says, yeah.
Okay, so that is it for the day. It looks like we had a short here on crude. Now you can see with this one, we've got target hitting right here. And then we've got the trail stop coming down as we're coming down. Pretty aggressive, not super aggressive, not nearly as much as we had it on gold here. With gold, we have very, very tight trail on the stops. Based on this template, that is what worked the best. So we had this trade here, another short, took a long there, and so 4 for 4 on the day. So that's a quick sneak peek of what the algo is doing. We'll review the rest in the AMA, but for now, enjoy the rest of the event. Cheers.
Jim's practicing his acting career. He's doing quite well.
I can't act.
So let's get back into this for a second. Okay. I've got 3 markets here. Which one you want to talk first? You want to talk the S&P? You want to talk crude oil? You want to talk gold? You tell me. ES, David says. Everybody's going to say 3 different markets. Let's start with the S&P. Okay. I think a lot of traders trade it, and then we'll get into crude oil next. Okay. So let's go into this. Okay. So we ran this test all the way to the 7th. I haven't ran it. I didn't have the data set up. So let's go in here and take a look at the summary. This was a 3.4 profit factor. We had a 0.7 R multiple with an 81% hit rate on this for the S&P. Very strong. We're getting about 3 trades on average a day in the morning for this. And, you know, your average trade expectancy is about $200 per trade on this. Let's go into the actual chart for a second and take a look at this. So this is on the 8,000 volume charts. Very quick scalps on these, very tight stops and targets on purpose. This was meant for day trading. You're going to catch these pops and they're going to just kind of break down. I'll give you an example here. You can just see it, right? You can see it. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Like you can see that there's the pin bar and it breaks through and you just catch the target right away, right? Right. And then ultimately, I mean, you can clearly see if we go in here, take a look, even in a trend, you can see that you could get a pin bar as the market is breaking up through the averages, and then it basically stops here. Look at that. Look at that. It sticks out like a sore thumb. You can see it. And then ultimately, boom, it pushes up, and then there's the quick scalp. Right? Could you be trading for much bigger targets? Sure. I mean, we can build templates with big R multiples, small R multiples, sky's the limits, but this was very, very profitable on the S&P template. I mean, you can just see there's no shortage of trade activity on this, but it is definitely up and to the right, right? And that's what we want to see without risking a lot of money on a per trade basis. Like I think the average trade risk per trade was like 500 on this, right? And it's not even our best template. Like it's one of them, but it's not the best. And you can take a look at the net profit per day. This was the last several weeks. It's really, really exceptional, right? The NASDAQ just blew me away. I was just amazed by that because the NASDAQ can be quite whippy, and it was really, really well. Crude or gold, guys? Pick your fancy. Which one are we going to do next? Crude oil? Okay. This, if I'm not mistaken, was a massive sample size. Yep. So huge sample size and almost a 2-to-1 R multiple, which, if I'm not mistaken, Jim, this is the trailing stop, which allowed us to capture lots of bigger runners.
Yeah, yeah. On crude, I tested trail stops separately, and it turned out to be really great. So I added it into the template. Yep.
So the reason this can be very well effective on these types of candles is what we call the squeeze method. The squeeze method on range candles, because this is on range bars, is let's say I've got a candle going up like this, and I got a candle going up like this. In volatile markets, and you're getting a push, we can trail the stop below the low of the range bars because every bar is fixed. Versus, say, a volume chart, you can't do that the same way. You wouldn't be able to do a trail in a volume chart or on a time chart the same way. Range and Renko are very good for trailing stop mechanics. And well, great example. JJ wants to ask why we have different times. Because we were only going to release it with the 3 templates, but then I have 4 guys that produced a template for me last night, and they gave me a template on the fly, which we hadn't got ready. So that was why we actually were only going to do 3 templates, JJ. Yeah. Yeah. So it was only 3, but then we had the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ came in late last night. Takes a lot of time to build these templates and to set them up and to actually go through and test all the performance on these, right? So great question though. But yeah, we were only going to release 3 templates, but then we had Jeff's crew was able to produce a template for the NASDAQ last night. So we added it in so we could give more to the community. Let's go in and actually take a look here. Okay, so this is for crude oil. Let's go into the actual time of day. Okay, so 8 in the morning all the way up to the morning. So all we're doing is trading pre-pit going into the European close for crude oil. So the even distribution for crude was quite well. Let's go back in and take a look at this. The daily distribution on this was quite well. And let's go in here and yeah, take a look at that net profit right there. So let's go in and take a look at gold for a second. Let me just put this up here like that. How many of you guys trade gold? Yes, sir. Okay. So gold, okay, 2.5 profit factor, 120 trades, 1-to-1 R multiple, 70% profitability. You're going to get about 4 to 5 trades a day on gold. Really, really profitable template. Less than $1,000 drawdown, right? And this was this was actually over a month of data. So this was from July all the way up, May, excuse me, all the way up to July. So the theme you're going to see here across all these templates, okay, is that you're going to see, let's go into the chart and take a look at the way the gold behave here. So this is what I love about the range charts. You're going to see, I'll show you crude oil in a second as well. It trails the stop. So you catch the setup and it'll give you the target and then it'll trail the stop loss down. Okay. And if we go in and we come back and we take a look at some of these other setups, this will trail the stop loss, hits the setup here, and it'll take the target, but it'll trail the stop loss behind the lows of those ranges. Okay. And so this is, just examples of the setups coming in. And, you can take a look at some of these down here and we can go over lots of different days if you want, but either way, you're going to see here, I'll just grab anything. And what's unique is that it depends if you want to catch it in the transition. You can trade this right off the lows. You could trade it in the trend. We're not really setting a bias towards which one we prefer because we have 2 of them are actually reversal based systems. And then the other 2 are trend. So you'll have both. But if you look at what's consistent about this, and this we have not seen in any of our systems, is consistent high profit factors with very high risk reward ratios with very high win percentages across every market, and they were all on different time frames. So it doesn't matter if you're trading the S&P, the NASDAQ, crude oil, gold. We have not seen this type of performance in any of the systems that we've built. We try to produce the best systems we can every single release, and we try to become better and better every time we build more software. But once in a while, we're just going to come out and say, hey, like this one surprised us, and we were super happy with it. This template here is the newest. I think there was a trader that asked why we have different dates, because we had only ran these to right before the holiday. And then basically we had July 4th, obviously, so we didn't want to have July 4th in here. And that's the other thing is this was just tested recently. We just ran this last night because everybody came back from the holidays. Yeah. So, I mean, you can be the judge of this, but I can tell you right now that it's very far and few between when we see this like this. And that's why I'm excited about the traders using it. Plus, it's the simplest setup you could ever trade. Like I honestly think my dog could trade this setup. Do you have a system for the YM? We haven't tested the YM. We tested the S&P, the NASDAQ. I would think the Russell would probably be really good on range charts too. I know, Jim, you like the Russell a lot.
Range on Russell's good.
Range on Russell's quick, yeah. Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back. Time to win some free software. So I'm going to run a poll. Do me a favor and let me know if you would like to win a free license. Great. So we always like to reward you guys' attendance. Appreciate that. We will hook somebody up here. One lucky person will win. Okay, we got 70% people of, maybe some people can't see the polls. Please pick me, Randy. I promise you, I don't pick anything. It's we put the list into a software tool and it spits out an email. So I, just say a little prayer and we'll send you some love your way. You don't see the poll, Shy? Ashley, maybe you can let anybody know how we can do that. If you don't see the poll, just shoot an email in and we'll get you set up. We'll get you added in there. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to end that poll. And David, come on, Mr. Randy says, I have never won anything my whole life. I want you to do me a favor. Look yourself in the mirror, Randy, and say, I am a winner. That's how you start winning. No C. Can't see, James. Okay. Ash, you here?
Yes, I sure am.
How do we help all the people that can't see the poll? Make sure they could get put into the, we'll just pull the whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Just email me at support@neurostreet.com. I'll get your name and then we'll make sure that your email and your name are entered into the poll for the draw. Not a trouble at all. And if for some reason you do win the draw and you have already purchased, we will rebate you back tomorrow in full and make you whole.
Perfect, guys. Okay. So I think we're good here. We've got over 80% people have answered that, and good. So can you guys type a Y in the chat box if you understand the concept of the pin bar, the simplicity of it? How many of you guys can see why we're so excited about it? I mean, 2.5 profit factors or greater across every single market. It's the best performing system we've produced since we built any of the algos. And I love it. I love the fact that it's simple, it's profitable, it's clean, it's easy. I also like the fact that you can trade reversals and trends in it. And let's face it, it's just a better consistent system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up and we're going to basically put the launch pricing in here. And Chad says, this looks amazing. I like the Vabo, but this seems a lot easier. It's the pin bar. When I said to the team, I said, we're going to code this as an algo. I think it's going to hit. And we're like, really? It's so basic. But it isn't basic. It's the whole aspect of the trailing stops and the optimization of the data. The signal itself is basic, yes. But using it to our advantage with the templates is a huge win for you guys. So I'm going to come in here, guys, and just go over the launch pricing. Let me just break this down. So the signal system here is 1,000. The algo engine is 1,000. We've got the Discord group. We've got the user documentation. We can install the software for you, which we would be more than happy to do if you're new to Ninja, or if you don't understand algos. We've pre-built all the system templates. You have access to the course plus the algo week, which will be included in that. And tomorrow we're going to be hosting an AMA. We do this every time, so that way you have access to training with the system specifically. And yeah, it's $7,000 down to $1. So we are saving almost 80% off, right? Which is massive. So you only have 48 hours to take advantage of this for the launch pricing. And I'm going to show you this. Yes, we have a guarantee. Yes, we have a policy for satisfaction and making sure that you guys are taken care of. So we have a love it or swap it promise, and we want to make sure that you get the best of the best with us, and enjoy what you're using. If for whatever reason you use the product and you're not extremely sold on it, you can contact Ashley and she'll work her magic, and we will help you swap it out, right, for anything else in the store, right? So long and behold, we always make sure that you guys are taken care of. Now, AMA
Hey, Sean,
events.
before you go on that, can we just highlight the red part there on the screen as well?
Yeah, you can't swap past products for new launches. Very clear. Cannot swap past products for new launches. So tomorrow, Jeff and Jim are going to be going over the systems. Jim is going to be there talking about the crude oil and the gold trailing stop concepts and the engine, and we're going to be going over the system. The NASDAQ template is very new. We just had it finalized last night, so that'll be for anybody trading the NASDAQ as well. And we're going to be hosting that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys can definitely be there or be square. And yeah, our door is always open, guys. We want to make sure that we can go over any of your questions. So let's get into it. For those of you that have questions, please type them in the chat box and we'd be more than happy to go over them. I think some of you, yeah, Frank, you only get access if you're a customer of it though, because ultimately you need the software, right? We only bring in anybody into the AMA if you're using it. Yeah, but if you can't make the AMA and you own the software, you'll get access to it. Yes, all four can be run simultaneously, Rudy, on different accounts. Yeah, you wouldn't, well, no, on the same account because they're four different markets. Yes. So if you wanted to run all four on one account, you could because they're on four different markets. Very easy to set up for prop firm challenge, Richard, because ultimately they're all built for day trading. These templates are all day trading. Yeah. There's a lot of good prop firms out there right now. The two that are, on most people's radar is Top Step and Apex. Soon we will get into ours, but we'll talk about that when we're ready. Yeah, these are on Ninjatrader. Yep. Eventually, all of our algos will be brought into tick plays. So I assure you that that's coming with a whole lot more spice and flavor. I can promise you that. Great. Gordon, you can put slippage in here if you choose to. It just depends. You can also put limit entry fills versus market entry fills. It just depends on what you normally like. Some traders trade limits, some traders trade market. It really just depends. You can run these on a sim account. Yes, Rudy. You can run them on a live account. You can run them on a prop account. Yeah. Because our software has a kill switch and you can turn off the algos, you don't have to worry about the prop firm shutting you down on this because prop firms don't want you running a black box. But these aren't black box because you have the ability to turn them on and off intra-trade. You can override the systems. Yeah. Yeah. Very good to know that. The AMA is 3 o'clock tomorrow, less Eastern. Yeah. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a poll here while everybody else is typing their questions in. Can you guys do me a favor? And just the reason I ask these is because we've got a support team on standby here to help with the installs. So if you could do me a favor and just let us know if you're planning on using this software so we can help you with the system and get you set up and running. I want to make sure that we can allocate the right team and get you guys all set up. Appreciate that. Yay or nay, either way, just let us know. And if you have questions, let us know. We'd be more than happy. Ashley and Jim and the guys can all reach back out to you. Yeah. I know a lot of you guys were looking for something like this. So this, I know I can already see a lot of you guys are saying yes. So that's great. A ton of you guys actually. But for those of you that have questions, just please put them and we will reach out to you. Jim can send a follow-up email. We can help you guys out. You can't run anything 24/7, Joe, because prop firms auto liquidate your positions going into the overnight close just due to the margin requirements, and so they don't let you hold positions into the close. But you can ultimately run them and then close them before the market closes, and then reopen the algos. Does anyone on the team speak Spanish? My wife.
Sean
I'm in the
speaks Spanish. He's been learning for years, so he should know
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Mucho gusto. Yeah. This can be set up on two computers? Yes, absolutely. Most of all the mornings. Ashley will announce the winners tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll actually email out everybody tonight with the winner and we'll post it in the Discord group too.
Great. You can use a VPS, Rudy. There's nothing stopping you from using a VPS. Yeah. So we only have 30% who have filled out this poll. Can you guys just do me a favor out of the courtesy of me being here as long as you guys are here? Just help me help you. If you are planning on using the system, just type a yes. If you're not sure, just type a I have questions, right? Just so we can follow up and I have a team that their job is to help you. And we need to be able to send the right people to you to help you, right? I am here to do the presentation and to build the systems with our teams, but I can't help you if you don't let me know what you want. Right. If you want to buy the software, we'll send you the purchase links. We'll get you set up. We'll get you installed. If you need to speak with sales, you need to speak with our business teams. We'd be more than no, Dan says, I got questions. Great. Then put that you have questions. Yeah. Yeah. Hugo's got questions. Great. Put that in there. Yeah. And that's good. You should think about it, right? I'm not allowed to do anything without thinking about it. Wife gave me shit. I like to buy things, so I have to take a second to think about it, right? But if it makes sense, then I usually move forward. You can install it on both. Yes. Yeah. You can have 2 active licenses. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. Great. Well, traders, I want to thank you guys for giving me time out of your day and give me the opportunity to present this to you guys. I want to let you know that we're here if you have any questions on this, and if you have any need for our team to get in touch with you, right? You guys can let us know, and you guys can shoot your questions via email. We're going to send you out a recording, and thank you guys for giving us an hour and a half of your day. Yeah, I think I did it in an hour. Perfect. Thank you guys. Thanks, traders. Appreciate you. Yeah. Our team will be in touch.